Shalom Israel. First and foremost, I want to say all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to you brothers throughout the four corners of the earth, teaching the truth and righteousness and sincerity to you Israelite foreigners. Come back home to the truth. To those that passed away serving the Lord, the dead in Yahweh Shai shall arise first. Hold up one second. And I want to do this video because yesterday I was online and I happened to see Saa Neter doing a live stream about the Barber's favorite rapper. It's definitely a joke, Tekashi 6ix9ine. You know, and we knock Tekashi 6ix9ine not because we hate anybody who has any success, but because we have to question in this day and age and in the world the way it's being run. You know, when somebody does have success, how do they get it? You know, what did they do for it? You know, and it's based on what? You know, because nowadays, you know, success doesn't always mean you're talented. You know what I'm saying? That you actually have some type of talent. So, are you coming in? You know, so as it relates to this guy Tekashi 6ix9ine, you know, it's just interesting to see what Saa Neter's interest is in Tekashi 6ix9ine. Then I realized, wait a minute, he's Hispanic, so he's probably ripping him for being Hispanic and so-called trying to be black. And I was actually impressed as fuck, believe it or not. When I tuned into the live stream and I heard Saa Neter, he wasn't saying shit about it. It almost sounded like he was referring to him as a brother. I think a couple times he talked to him like he talked about him like and used the word brother. I think I don't want to be misquoted, or I don't want to misquote. But that's what it sounded like. You know what I'm saying? And you know the African people's position on Hispanics is that we're not black and, you know, this, that, and the third. As Tekashi 6ix9ine would say, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why he says that shit like that. But anyway, Saa Neter said nothing of the sort. It was actually the assholes that were, one asshole called in and said, you know, because Tekashi 6ix9ine isn't everything that people, you know, he's got good qualities about him, like the, you know, he'll go to a high school and give kids money. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I'm not saying, you know, just like somebody else said, you know, Nino Brown passed out turkeys for Thanksgiving, you know, so charity doesn't mean you're doing a good thing, which is true. You know, I was watching the show The Wire, and Marlo was giving kids money to go to, you know, for back to school shit so he could get school clothes. You know, so charity could be a form of enticement, you know what I'm saying? But the fact that he's doing it, he's going to high schools and giving kids money, you know, that has to count for something, you know, unless there's a hidden alternative or ulterior motive, you know, which we don't know. You can never know, but the fact that he's doing it is pretty cool, you know what I'm saying? But some motherfucker called in and made a false statement and said he doesn't give black people money, he only gives Spanish people money. Which is a stupid remark because Spanish people are the same as what you call black. You know? And Saa Neter ripped the shit out of him. I mean, I wish that live stream was still on the air. Like, you know what I'm saying? At least he could have, like, aired it. You know what I'm saying? But he aired it live, but I haven't. When he finished the live stream, I don't think he left it online where you could actually still see it. Which is sad, man, because I really, that made me look at Saa Neter very different because he's not the type to stand up for the so-called Hispanics. You know, and then somebody else made a point of him. Matter of fact, I think it was the same asshole that called in and said he never gives black kids money. He was like, he was like, oh, you know, he's Spanish saying the word nigga, you know what I'm saying? And Saa Neter ripped him again. Saa Neter was like, he learned that from you black people. What the fuck are you talking about? He learned that behavior from so-called African American people, which is true. You know, all this bitches and hoes and calling and using the word nigga, you know, we learned it from Judah because, you know, let's keep it real, man. The music started, you know, with Judah. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Saa Neter just basically was going in. But the main point that I want to bring out is that you got a whole bunch of assholes in the black community, so-called the conscious community, keep talking about so-called Hispanics not being brothers and shit, which is fucking stupid. I can understand their position, but, you know, I can think it's stupid, but there's a reason for them to believe it, of course. When I was in the Pan-African Student Union in college, you know, before I was in the Truth, of course, you know, they taught us, man, that listen, we're just, the difference between us and black people is a boat stop. You know what I'm saying? And when I say black people, meaning like African Americans, so-called, you know, and that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? We're not different from so-called black people. You know, we're a different tribe, but our difference is very little. You know what I'm saying? We're the same people. You know, we have very similar histories. You know, but and then last night I posted a video with Exhibit, you know, because he's from LA. You know, he sees a lot of so-called Mexicans, Issachar, and you know, there was an issue that happened where he was talking about an issue where a so-called black man robbed a Mexican gang for their drugs, whatever, and then they was like, yo, we got to give it to the you know, so-called Morenos. Like, we got to basically take this up with the so-called blacks, you know. And that's the thing. We can't be racist among ourselves. You know, just because a so-called black man robbed a Mexican, the Mexicans, so-called Mexicans, don't have to take it on all blacks. But that's what it turns into in LA or different places where it's different ethnicities controlling, you know, like even outside of the race, even if it's a fucking white man. I'm in an area where it's heavy Judah and Esau. I'm not gonna go at all Edomites, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go at the one who fucking robbed him. You know, as much as I hate Esau and you know, I'm not gonna be like them and use it as an opportunity to fuck up all Edomites. Nah, let's go after the one that stole. You know what I mean? And if I can't get him, get his family. That would be the sensible thing to do. Get the ones that have a fucking role in you losing money. But what you don't do is take it out on everybody that happens to be that same ethnicity, because they had nothing to do with it. You're not teaching him a lesson by getting at all of them. You know what I mean? But the moral of the story, basically, or the thing that I want to drive to is, you know, the children of Judah and the children of Israel were oppressed together, man. We're going through this shit together. You know, we get racial profile too. You crazy? Those of you that think we not. You know, I remember I was talking amongst a bunch of Judites. It was a cookout. You know, and as usual, I'm the only so-called Hispanic. You know, this is work related. Basically, a lot of people that I knew from work, you know, Judites, and basically, you know, with work functions or when I hang out with former coworkers, as far as Hispanics, it's either me or Ivan. You know, Ivan's a so-called Dominican brother, and me and him are always, you know, talking about so-called black issues because we understand them, because we deal with them. Things that black people go through, they're not the only ones that go through, and that's the problem with a lot of so-called African Americans is they tend to minimize the struggle of other people. I remember this bitch was like one time at work. Her name was Clarissa. She not there no more. She was literally, I don't think she made it after training. You know what I'm saying? But she was ignorant as fuck. She was like, yeah, ain't nobody been through what black people been through. This, that, and the third and all that. Black, blackity, black. But then I was like, what about Native Americans? You know what I'm saying? What about the native so-called Hispanics that was here before the white man, and the fucking white man trashed them, took their land, and killed literally millions of them? You know, I'm not saying that black people ain't been through shit, but don't act like your brothers, the Hispanics and Native Americans, ain't been through shit. You know? That's fucking sick, and it's ain't shit. I can't see nothing. Wow. That was crazy. Alright. So I gotta drive a little careful here. I'm driving past the school. You know, but yeah, man, when it comes down to so-called black issues, you know, Saa Neter, I've never knew his position on Hispanics, but I have heard, you know, because even when I was at the Kemet on trial debate, and yes, I was at the Kemet on trial debate, for you assholes out there, you know what I'm saying? Whatchamacallit, what I was about to say? Come on, man. You gonna drive now? Anyway. Some guy was like, one of them assholes, one of them Pan-African, back to Africa, are you stupid? Dumbass bitch. Anyway, it's a lot. It's a lot, y'all, you know, got a little bit of road rage, and the bitch was actually rolled down her window to yell at me, like, you know what I'm saying? But anyway. And I can't see shit with the sun in my face. So, but yeah, I was there, and the motherfucker had a example. He went to different restaurants and said, I don't have money to eat. He went with Saa Neter. He said, I went to a white restaurant, this restaurant, that restaurant. He went to a Spanish restaurant, and they all was like, well, if you don't have money to eat, you can't eat. And he said the only one that was able to feed him, or willing to feed him without money, and this was just an experiment. He had money, but the experiment was basically, you know, go to different places and give a sob story and see who will actually feed you. You know? And the only one that did it was a West Indian restaurant that's no longer there. You know? And he made the lady seem like a saint, which I'm sure she was. You know, but he demonized the Hispanics, which is probably, it might have really happened, but don't talk about us like we not the same people, nigga. You know, that shit infuriates me. When I see the black community X out Hispanics out of the struggle, knowing what the fuck we go through, how the fuck dare you? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know, I don't want to go over my time. You know, it's about to be 14 minutes, which means can't make a 15-minute or longer video. So with that, I'm going to say all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to you brothers, black and Hispanic, so-called, throughout the four corners of the earth, teaching the truth in righteousness and sincerity. To you Israelite foreigners, come back home to the truth. To those that passed away serving the Lord, the dead in Yahweh Shai shall arise first. Shalom.